where dream fights come to life.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Muhammad King Ball, but from here on out, y'all can call me Brown Sugar.
Not sure. I
With,
like that.
and with me today, I got my
It,
boy,
Party Marty, aka the armchair expert.
and I'm on that BS today, that Brown Sugar. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the fight that's coming in tomorrow night or tomorrow morning.
hmm Yeah.
There are a few good fights in that card. Junto Nakatani has a fight coming up. I'm not sure who the guy he's fighting is, but I saw the breakdown of it. But more than anything, I am more interested in the Naoya Inoue Picasso fight.
Yeah.
Let's go deeper into that because we spoke on it, a few days ago, or maybe it was a week ago. But
Yeah.
let's
About
go
3 or 4
deeper on
days
that.
ago.
Let's go deeper on that. You know what I'm saying for this episode.
Yeah. Picasso's a bigger dude. He's got the size advantage on anyway. So they had the face off yesterday. You can see he's got a good few inches on him. Bigger dude. Picasso, this is the biggest fight of his career. He's never fought anybody like Inoue before. Inoue's been on the stage, many a time. So that's the question. Is Picasso mentally ready for this type of fight? And I mean, being on this type of stage can give people a little bit of nerves. You know more than I do. And when it comes to that, especially fighting for a championship title against, arguably the number one guy in the sport, all eyes are on him. I mean, it's going to be, you know, almost everybody minus the West Coast is going to be up watching this fight. I mean, unless you're a hardcore fan, I'll be up. It's going to be about 6 o'clock my time. So there's going to be a lot of fans watching this fight. All eyes on him. Picasso is going to bring an undefeated record. He's like I said, a big, lengthy guy. He's got that Mexican warrior spirit. He likes to go to war. So this is the type of fight I agree with Inoue's dad. Inoue's dad saying sometimes he gets a little too excited in the beginning. He wants to knock his opponents out, and that's what got him in trouble in two fights where Inoue got dropped. He likes to open up, and he drops his right hand when he's inside the pocket, when he gets a little anxious, excited. So his dad says he wants him to fight out of his range, work behind his jab, and pick his shots. So I think that's the smartest thing to do. When Inoue is on his game and he's not overzealous, he's probably the best in the sport, especially when it goes to breaking his opponents down and getting the finish. So I think for Picasso to win this fight, he's going to want to bring the fight to Inoue. He's going to want Inoue to open up so you can counter him to the body and to the head. I mean, Picasso has a beautiful left hook to the body and a beautiful left hook to the head. So that's the combination he likes to throw, and that's the combination he's going to want to look for. That's what got Inoue in trouble and dropped in two fights previously. So for Picasso to win, he's going to need to get, like I said, Inoue opening up, get inside, work the body and head. Hopefully he can, walk him down and stop him because he's the bigger guy. That's what he's going to want to do. For Inoue, he's going to want to fight at his range, use his footwork, use his jab, his speed, and him being the smaller guy, he's also going to want to work that body too. That's the advantage to him, and he's the best body worker in the sport. So for Inoue to win this fight, just pick his shots, go to work the body early, break him down, and don't be overzealous, and don't go looking for the stoppage too fast because this kid's tough, so he's going to want to go to war. So it's going to take a little bit to break him down. And I think Inoue can fight smart, he'll do that. That's my opinion. So the winner, I think, I'm liking Inoue by maybe 10th or 11th round stoppage, just because he's going to systematically break him down.
Man, we're giving them too much. You're giving them too much. Hold on. You're giving them too much. You're giving them too much information right now. So let's slow it
Oh, my
down.
bad. Sorry.
This fight was set to happen, I think, one time before last year, from what I understand. And I guess the money wasn't there, and Picasso turned it down.
Yeah, he did.
So now they're running it back. Picasso's 25 years old. What, he's 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah.
He has the reach. He has the youth.
Three,
He has the
three or
vigor.
four. Mm-hmm.
Look, Inoue in those pictures, he looks a little older. Now, Inoue has the experience and technique. He has the power. But man, sometimes, just sometimes, Father Time can reveal himself. And, how old is Inoue now? 32? 33?
32.
Yeah, for the weight class, that's kind of
Yeah.
getting old,
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see because they're fighting in Japan. They both, Junto Nakatani as well as Inoue, both want to make a statement in this fight. And I'm not sure. I know that Inoue's last fight, he said he wanted to win by decision. He said he wanted to fight smart, win by decision. And I'm pretty sure this fight he might be more composed as well. But if he's too composed, I think that it might sway the Japanese public's perception on who the man is. Because you know how Nakatani's gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just feel like this fight is gonna be a fight to kind of set the tone for the matchup between Inoue and Nakatani. Am I
So,
wrong on that?
so you're feeling there's pressure on Inoue to perform and score a knockout because you think Nakatani's going to come out and do what he normally does and get a stoppage. So you're saying all eyes and pressure right now is going to be on Inoue to keep that title in terms of being the best in Japan.
Think about this, man. How many times have we seen two fighters have fights lined up
Yeah,
and they had a fight scheduled afterwards? Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. There are plenty of fights that have happened where there's a spoiler.
yeah.
Now I'm thinking, I'm on that BS again, that Picasso might be that spoiler.
Huh? Well, let me throw a little bit of my light brown sugar in the mix here, since you're a little bit you're a brown sugar and my light brown sugar. Let me throw that in there. I mean, the possibility because a lot of people. I think this is a lot of happen with Mayweather all the time too. When a big fighter or a great fighter has a big fight coming up, there's always some type of rumors going around the internet. People are getting nervous because it's a big fight. They don't want to see their fighter lose. So there's always something with some BS. I remember videos and saying, "Oh, Floyd got hurt in sparring." Prior to this fight, this happened for like literally 5 fights in a row. So a lot of it is this clickbait. So I see a lot of people on the internet saying, "Oh man, Anyway, we just tweeted something out saying that because this is his fourth fight this year. He's only done this twice, where he's fought 4 times in a year. He's saying, "Oh man," he's complaining about like soreness during training. I'm like, bro, you're a fighter, you know that. That's common. No one's going to be healthy coming into this fight. I'm not buying into that. I think there's a lot of hype, like you said. People want to get over this hurdle because they want that big fight because it's potentially the biggest fight in Japanese boxing history or Japanese combat sports history. I can't think of a bigger fight, even in Pride and all that, where two Japanese guys in their prime right now with this type of hype are about to fight. So I think this is jitters. People, like you're saying, want to get over that hurdle. So Picasso has the potential, but I think it's going to bring the best out anyway. I don't think anyone's ready to slow down just yet.
The only thing I can think of MMA wise that came close was Aoki versus Hirota when they
Yeah,
had the Sengoku versus the Dream.
true.
But I don't know. I think that Picasso, there's not much pressure on him. He's relatively unknown, 25 years old. He puts his punches together pretty well. He goes to the body pretty well. And I think that he has nothing to lose for this. And I think, like I said, I think that this fight could be closer than what it seems.
You never had any mental issues in terms of like severe anxiety before a big fight like this? I mean, even before you won the Strike Force light heavyweight title, there's no super nerves or anything, knowing that you're the main event, you have all these eyes on you, like the biggest fight of your career. There's no pressure.
No, because in the Strike Force, the pressure was on Musasi. Remember? He was a
Yeah,
champion. Everyone says
but
they killed
but still, coming as a challenger, I mean, everybody's different, I guess. For you're saying it didn't bother you, I'm saying
him.
some might bother them. I hear people always saying it too that being in this stage, first time in your career, where to someone else who's been there before, that's going to be an advantage for the champion who's been there before.
It could be due to experience, but here's the thing. Everyone's saying that Picasso will get knocked out. Everyone's overlooking Picasso because they're focused on the Junto Nakatani fight.
Right.
So if you think about that, what pressure does Nakatani, I mean, not Nakatani, what pressure does Picasso really have to carry when everyone's overlooking him and everybody's focused on the Inoue Nakatani fight? So remember, you said that fight itself could be the greatest fight in Japanese combat sports history. So If you're Picasso, you're sitting there like everybody's overlooking me. Everyone thinks that I'm just a stepping stone to help Inoue look sharp and prepare for the Nakatani fight. Because remember, I'm tall, Nakatani's tall. The only difference is Nakatani's a southpaw and I'm orthodox. Now Nakatani does throw a lot of punches, so does Picasso. They both have good punch selection. So I'm pretty sure that the masses are looking at this fight as a tryout or a tease for the fight that's happening next.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think the speed though is in Nakatani's favor. I think he's might be a little bit more defensive sounded too, but both guys want to come forward. So I have watching a lot of. I was watching Nakatani's film yesterday, doing more study about his past fights. He's yet to have a guy, put him on his heels. So that's the question: can he fight off his back foot? Can he fight when someone's in his face? That's the question. Or if he's hurt. So
I'm about to cut you off, but I don't think the Inoue is gonna really try to fight him. If you try to step into Nakatani too close, you're gonna eat those uppercuts. And so right now, folks, we're talking about. Let's just go ahead. Let's talk about the potential fight that's yet to happen.
so
Let's
so
discuss Nakatani versus Inoue right now.
so you're saying Picasso could be a spoiler, but you're leaning with anyway.
Yeah, Picasso could be a spoiler, but I'm leaning Inoue. But I wouldn't be surprised if Picasso makes Inoue look human because so far, even though he's been dropped, he's looked super like a meta human, like a mutant. He's looked
Yeah,
spectacular. Even in the times he's been dropped, he's looked
yeah,
great. And
yeah,
I think that Picasso, being the young Mexican warrior trying to prove himself, that's undefeated, taller, he has the dimensions to give him issues, as well as a volume. I think that he's gonna come with a little extra vigor.
yeah. I agree, and I agree with the age thing too, because Lomachenko started slowing down. The more he moved up in weight, and the older he got, like you said, when you're small in that weight class, you need footwork and speed, and once that goes, it's pretty much a wrap for you, especially at the smaller weight classes. So yeah, that little bit of slippage for Inoue could cost him. Happened to Donier too. Once you slip at that weight class, happened to Chocolatito. Once you slip at that weight class, you're gonna have some problems against small, younger guys who are gonna move faster than you. So
Yeah,
yeah, age could be a factor, like you're saying, in terms of boxing years. He's been doing this a long time. A lot of championship rounds, sparring. We've talked about this. The guy we've seen his sparring videos. He goes and spars guys, bigger than him. He goes all over the world and looks for the toughest sparring partner. So that could play a role too. So we'll see.
yeah.
I'm excited for it. But if he listens to his dad and fights intelligently and doesn't look for the knockout, I think he could look like he did against, his debut at 122 against Stephen Fulton. I mean, he systematically beat down Cool Boy and didn't lose a round. I don't even think he lost a minute in that fight. To be honest,
Yeah,
honest
but
with you,
don't forget, Cool Boy and Picasso are kind of different.
I'm talking about in
Picasso,
terms of I'm talking about in terms of fighting intelligently, fighting at your distance and patience, and
well, it's
picking your
good.
shots.
Remember this though, it takes two to make that agreement happen.
Yeah,
So if Picasso's like, you know what, I'm gonna go out on my shield. Let me take this fight to him.
yeah,
Then the range and all that, I can see Picasso making this a dogfight. And I think if I'm Picasso and I'm flying to Tokyo, Japan,
yeah.
are they fighting in Tokyo Dome or Saitama Arena, one of them places? If I'm going there, I'm taking the fight to this guy.
And we're gonna find out by the second round. Like you said, he's gonna come forward, and he knows if he's gonna come forward, he's gonna get hit. He's gonna get in that in his wheelhouse. He's gonna get countered by Inoue to the head and body. So we'll see by the second round. Usually, you can tell by their opponent's facial expressions around the second, third round, their body language, if they're going to be able to stay in this fight, and then they're going to keep coming. So we'll learn by the second, third round if Picasso's there to fight or he's just there as another punching bag. That's my
Well,
opinion.
I think when you're 25-0 and you're brought in and people are overlooking you, there's no way you're gonna be brought in as a punching bag. I haven't seen many Mexicans come in and pack it up,
No.
especially at 25 years old, with the
Yeah,
chance to be a legend and a chance to be the spoiler
yeah,
for a legendary fight. This fight right here, everything I'm seeing the recipe for an upset. In a way, you know, looking to fight Nakatani, fights in Tokyo, the guy's undefeated. Everyone's overlooking the younger man. In a way, sparring, you've seen it. We've seen it. He spars hard,
Yeah,
uh, and he goes hard. So I mean, can you sustain that throughout your career, being a smaller guy
yeah,
and acting as a boxer?
yeah. I've told you when this fight was even before it was announced and they're hyping the Nakatani anyway fight up. I was saying, yeah, I admit it. I'm a anyway nut hugger, but I've admitted to I understand. I'm not ignorant. I understand that sparring hard, the older you get in terms of boxing, age and all that, all has a factor in this fight. So yeah, I'm not as nervous in this fight as I'm going to be for the Nakatani fight. So, but with that said, talking about Nakatani versus Inoue that's supposed to happen, May next year?
Yeah,
In
hold on. I mean, to cut you off,
Good.
but you said that. Remember earlier, you were kind of dismissive of Nakatani earlier.
In
Remember?
what way?
Yeah, versus him when he fought Inoue, you're like, no way. But I'm
Uh,
telling you this: you watch him now. He has some skills. He's pretty tricky. He can run you into some shots. Watch Maloney when he fought Andrew Maloney. Granted, Andrew Maloney is not Inoue, but he's shown that he can run you into shots. He's shown power with both hands. He's fucking tall. He has a good timing. He has good punch placement and great punch selection. So this fight is gonna be closer than what people think.
no, yeah. No, I agree. I think Nakatani's a very dangerous fighter. In Inoue, if he's not on his P's and Q's this fight, like he was when he got dropped in his two fights, getting dropped by Nakatani is a little bit different. Or getting hit by Nakatani, that might be the end of the night for him if he gets caught like he did in those two fights. I mean, I don't want to feel like it, but I'm sure closer to the fight, I'm gonna start getting those Roy Jones Tarver feelings. Big southpaw versus Superman. You know, Roy Jones was Superman when he fought at the time when he fought Tarver, who's an unknown southpaw. Big, strong. So that
I got a question for you.
yeah.
What's your excuse gonna be when Inoue loses?
What's your excuse tonight? What's your excuses tonight?
Because
Yeah.
think about this. You're right. Southpaw is orthodox, long and rangy, powerful left hand. Inoue is very athletic, like Roy. Like I mean, and Nakatani's workman, like Tarver.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's rangy and he can punch. He's a monster left hand. Are we looking at a future? Is this foreshadowing to an upset?
These things happen. I get these type of nerves, man. Every time a fighter I like, I always get this thoughts going through my head, like these what ifs, because I've experienced it enough in my life where I'm 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 ready for another upset. Like my body's like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Unfortunately, because I've dealt with enough heartache and pain throughout my being a couch expert and watching all my fighters lose. Except for Floyd, obviously, he never lost, but still, I still always got nervous for his fights too. So with that being said, yeah, this could be foreshadowing. I'm getting those feelings, Anyways, getting up there, he just admitted that he doesn't see himself having a long time left in the sport. So you start seeing these tweets, and you start hearing these interviews and what he's saying and all that. And you start thinking, dang, is he already thinking retirement? That's dangerous. Is he already looking his way out after the Nakatani fight? That's dangerous. So
Well,
all that.
look, the thing is, like, if you think about this, he beats Nakatani. Then what's next?
What?
Bam, or he's gonna go up? Because look,
Yeah.
everyone now, Bam Rodriguez might be smaller, but he does pose some issues there with his angles and his movement. Now, I'm not sure if he can handle the punching power of Inoue, but at the same time, he's younger than Inoue. And over time, when you have those tough workouts and those tough training sessions and tough sparring sessions, Father Time does creep up and tap you on the shoulder and whispers in your ear, "It's time to slow down." So, this is interesting, man. I'm excited for the fights tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I love Inoue. I love Inoue because I told my boys, I was like, back when Chocolatito was doing his thing, I said, man, Inoue would smash him. And they didn't want to hear me. I was like, Inoue's the man. They weren't trying to hear me. They were like, what did he do with Carlos Quadras? I'm like, he'd smash him too. I'm
Yeah,
like, no, we're doing something different. And Chocolatito's a great fighter. Roman Gonzalez, right? Roman
yeah,
Gonzalez, great
Chocolatito.
fighter. Yeah, but I think Inoue is great as well, but just in a different way, more dynamic.
Yeah, they were supposed to fight at that time. Well, they didn't cross paths. Well, no, they were both at 115. Roman kind of was going another round. He was starting to lose. Yeah, and he got upset by the Thai kickboxer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot, what's that?
The tie, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot his name at the time, but he was a hard hitter.
Younger size, something like that. Or I forgot.
Yeah, young something like that, Sorosai or something like that. But yeah, Bam kind of caught these guys at the end of the kind of after they all had wars with each other. Not taking anything away from Bam in his resume. I mean, he fought the guys he was supposed to fight. So if I was anyway, honestly, I would stay away from 126. There's no really point. I know everybody's trying to say, "Oh, go up and fight Tank. Go up and fight Tank. You can fight at a catch weight." Like Tank should be worried about guys his size, not picking off smaller guys. So if I was in Team Inoue, the best way to do it, think about money. Like you said, he's getting older. This is what I would do. My last three fights would be this fight tomorrow, Picasso, Nakatani for the biggest fight in Japanese history. He's going to make huge money, and then call it a career against Bam.
or
It'll be
Sam Goodman. What about Goodman or Ball?
that. They're not. They don't pose any problems.
Well, I'm saying, but they don't put any problems. But that also could be big fights because we don't know what's happening with Tank as far as well, the Tank fight won't happen.
Yeah, it
After
won't happen.
Nakatani, let's say it gets past Nakatani. Goodman or Ball are some big fights that could take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, or in the UK, where
Yeah,
boxing is hot right now. Boxing's
right.
hot right now in the UK.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, like I said, I'd rather see Bam, like in my opinion, because like you said, he poses more problems than anybody else right now in the division, other than Nakatani, in my opinion. Just because of his skills, everybody wants to see that, fight. To me personally, I'm on what you're saying. I don't think Bam can handle the power, in my opinion. That's gonna be the separate. That's gonna be the deciding factor. Anyway, this hits way too hard. He hits like a welterweight. I mean, you can hear the shots when he's landing. Bam's more of a precision guy. When he's slipping in and out, turning you with footwork, he catches you when you don't see the punches coming, and he breaks you down. Anyway, has that one punch knockout power. We've seen that. I mean, when he hits you, it's devastating. So I think that's going to be too much for Bam, but I still love to see it. I love the little guys and big guys. I was always told you that. Growing up watching Pride and watching K1 and watching all those guys. Watching the smaller guys like KO Kai Konorsing. I just posted that fight when he knocked out Mighty Mo with that freaking head kick.
Yeah,
I'm
Coach.
all about the little guys challenge themselves. You did it your whole career too. You moved up to weight and challenged yourself. I respect that, and hey, David versus Goliath. You never know what's going to happen until they step in the ring. So that's what I would do if I was anyway. Just think about all the money that you're going to make, and at the end of your career, go out like that. Who cares? Go out the Canelo route.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because this would be probably the first time anybody's fought a smaller guy
Yeah,
in a while.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yo. So Bam does present um the movement and the angles and the defensive responsibilities, pretty defensively sound.
yeah.
But that was now I think with him following the trend of being a smaller guy, him being Nick Ball or Goodman would be better. Just because David versus he's been David his whole career. So
Yeah,
why turn around and be Goliath for one versus a guy that's I think that'd be better for him personally. Now the fight with Bam would make big money,
yeah.
and he could take that, and then from there if he wins, go fight Nick Ball. Go fight
Well,
Ball, and if he stops Ball, which I can see him doing, then guess what? He can go ahead and retire. First ballot Hall of Famer already.
yeah. So you're saying you want him to have one fight at 126 and call it a career?
Yeah, yeah. Unless he goes out there and looks stellar, because you just never know. Like some guys look better as they go up in weight. Didn't look that bad.
Yeah,
He fought Canelo, and granted, he fought Canelo at the right time, but he looked good. He looked like the weight suited him. You know.
yeah. he just I was asked a question too about moving up. He said his body's not ready yet, so he knows his body more than anybody else. So we'll see what happens. So I like that idea. Fight Picasso, then you got Nakatani, Bam at 122, then move up to 126 and call it a career. Maybe one or two fights there. So we'll see.
Let's touch on a fighter that need Jermaine Ortiz.
Yeah,
Because I went back and watched Jermaine Ortiz with Lomachenko, and that was a closer fight than 115 113. It could have been a draw. Honestly, it's close because they both going to get shots. Um, Jermaine's good now, but we seen Jermaine. He's fighting Keyshawn Davis next.
yeah,
What do you think about that fight?
yeah. He's one of those guys. Jermaine's one of those guys that's going to make. He's just huge for the weight class. He look like he could be fighting at 147. To be honest with you, he's huge. But this one's going to be at 140, correct?
Yeah, 140.
So it's Keyshawn's debut at 140, if I'm correct.
I
He
believe so.
looked good his last fight. So you're saying that you think Keyshawn should win relatively easy. I think this would be a tough fight. I think Ortiz makes anybody look tough. I mean, look what he did against Tiafumo. And like you said, I agree. Yeah, Tiafumo was a really tough fight. A lot of people thought he edged that one out.
I thought he
Honestly,
won. I thought he won.
yeah, I did. I did too. Yeah, he gave Lomachenko a lot of problems. I think that had a lot to do with the weight too.
But yeah, definitely. But my issue with the Keyshawn, I think Keyshawn moves well. Keyshawn's big too. And I think Big Keyshawn might be able to match him for speed
Yeah,
and in range. I think Keyshawn might have the range on him. And Keyshawn does have that power. You
yeah.
know. So Keyshawn's one of my favorite guys to watch right now.
Is
Even though
he?
he's retired for a little bit, I love Keyshawn, the businessman. I met him in Vegas, and I was actually like, I don't like when I meet when I meet MMA fighters, I'm like, okay, it's cool. But when I meet boxers, I like it's just his different.
Yeah,
I always wanted to box growing up, and I love boxing, and I never got a chance to do that. All I could do is spar, but when I meet boxers doing things I want to do in that sport, I respect them for it. It's just a different type of boxing, combat sports in general. It's a tough way to make money, but boxing is my first love. But now bare knuckle is getting up there, about to surpass boxing. I'm fighting to hold my love for bare knuckle back.
yeah, yeah. I don't get to have the opportunity to watch it as much as you do, but I love bare knuckle too. When I do have an opportunity to watch it, I think I like all type of combat sports. I just like the violence. It's not just the violence. People say it's all violence. It's more than violence. Like you, it's like poetry to me. It's the sweet science. Just to be able to you know what I fell in love, a fight I love to watch too over and over is Rigondeaux versus Donier. I don't know if you remember watching that fight.
Yeah. Hmm.
The scene Rigondeaux was literally toe to toe. His foot was on Donier's foot, and him just able to slip the punches he did and counter the way he did. It's beautiful to me. It's like watching a master class, a painter just painting it on his canvas, watching a sweet science like that. So that's what I love about it. It's more than just the violence, and people get turned off by it. It's the thinking process, able to stand someone 2 feet away from you, able to make them miss and counter, and the chess matches too. That's what I love about it. That's what I see. I'm deeper. I'm a deeper thinker, and I appreciate guys like Mayweather, Ward, and Hopkins. All these guys, I think they're boring. They're perfectionists. What they do over and over. It takes, as you know, takes a lot of training for you to be a specialist at wrestling like you were. Took hours and hours of training and perfection to do what you guys did in your craft, and I respect that. So yeah, I'm excited about the sport going forward. You brought more motivation by doing this with me, so you're bringing my love back for boxing. I've been a little disappointed, so we'll see what goes on, what happens tomorrow, and then moving forward. And hopefully these guys start answering my some of these boxers stop ducking me. I'm trying to get them on our show so we can interview them.
2026, I feel like 2025 was a kind of a down year for boxing, but I believe 2026 will be an up year. Let's see what happens with Zuffa Boxing. I know people are kind of like looking at that promotional company side-eyed, but hopefully, I don't care if they have C-level fighters or B-level fighters, because back when I was coming up, we had USA Fights on USA, the network. Like, was it Friday night fights, Tuesday night fights?
Yeah,
Tuesday night fights. I loved watching that. ESPN too. So as long as I'm seeing people get punched, slip punches, roll punches, block punches, and land shots, I'm
Right.
happy.
Yeah. And we briefly talked about that because you said Sean had mentioned that. That was the big thing going around with Sean calling out Dana, Sean calling out Turkey and all that. I know it's big headlines going on. And, he has every right to question their motive and what they're trying to do, especially, change the Ali Act and all that. So, yeah, I agree. We touched a little bit on it. In order for boxing to continue to thrive, these promoters need to work together and get on a network. Without a network, boxing's not going to do anything. We know that. Or wherever it's a streaming service now or whatever. I mean, we grew up watching Showtime boxing, HBO boxing. Boxing was on ABC back in the day, so they need a network. They need a home affiliate in order for them to continue to succeed, or Dana and Turkey's just going to run it, like that's my opinion. So,
All right, well, we'll stop there. But first of all, before we get off, shout out to Sean Sattel. I enjoy his YouTube channel, and I enjoy hearing him speak on boxing and not Boxing Wave. Anyone that's out there, Dante's boxing, I watch it all because I don't know everything. We don't know everything, but it's good to hear other points of views.
yeah, absolutely. I did a podcast years ago with Sean. I'll see if he wants to come, with us and come on the show and talk too. I always like talking to Sean. I've known him for a long time. Like I said, I've known each other for years in terms of being on the internet, and we talked boxing for a long time. I'd love to have him on here, and talk too. I seen him grow. I remember when he was just barely breaking into the business, and look at him now. He's doing big things. So I'd love to have him on the show. And any other boxer or MMA fighter that comments on your posts or whatever, have him come on the show. I'd love to have him.
Yeah, and also check out my Instagram. I got the mythical matchups that I've been doing. It's fun. Clarissa Shields commented on a post. I think that she would be Ann Wolf.
No.
Just because, the reason why I say that is because tactics and technique. You can be a dog all you want, but if you don't have the tactics, technique, and experience, I think that Ann Wolf's a dog. Don't get me wrong, but so is Clarissa. Now Ann Wolf had that power. Clarissa has the technique and the finesse, and she just knows a little more about boxing. But if Ann Wolf had the time, if Ann Wolf grew up boxing like Clarissa, she would be the prototype of boxing, right? The prototype we talking about right now. She'd be the like Lucia Riker, but American version of Lucia Riker right now with the knockout power. Like, yeah, I commend her. I'm a big fan of her. I watched her fight versus Valerie Mafood. I watch women's boxing, so I watch it all. So like Valerie beat her, and I believe she defeated her in the rematch. But Valerie Mafood was a tough one too with the blue hair. You see the highlights. So
Look, like I made on the post, I don't know. Close to if you saw it, again, I'm not, no disrespect. Like I said, this is coming from my point of view to seeing your fights, seeing your sparring against that dude, and then seeing your fight where you got dropped and you're susceptible to the left hand in terms of exchanges in the pocket. And I think you get hit by Anna Wolf and her left hand might do some damage. That's my opinion on her. I think the power in that left hand, the closer it gets caught, she's been dropped twice in her career, one in sparring, one in the fight. This came from a left hook. So that's my opinion. You get hit with the left hook by Anna, it's a different monster, bro. She's just a different monster. Again, no
all right,
disrespect. Come on our
ladies,
show.
all right, y'all. Well, you had it here, the Mythical Matchup Show. You know what I'm saying? BS, Brown Sugar, and Party Marty.
AKA
Yeah,
Light Sugar.
what's
Light
up?
Sugars. Don't forget that.
Wax Sugar.
Light Sugar.
Light sugar. Okay. Brown sugar and light sugar. You know
There
how
you
it
go.
goes. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed our show today. We'll be back tomorrow to discuss the outcome of the fights.
Yeah.
The Picasso Inoue fight.
Yeah, it's on 6 o'clock. I heard I think the ring walks, if I'm correct, for the main event at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so my time.
Yeah, so it'll be 9 a.m. here.
Yeah.
All right,
Then.
y'all. Take it easy.
Peace.